Hello friends, do you want to listen a story? So we will listen very interesting story. The name of the story is Androcles and the Lion. This story is written in the past time, and the story is written in a different forms, and it is read and told all over the world. And this is a story in our My English Book Standard 8 1.2. The name of the story is Androcles and the Lion. Long, long ago, there lived a kind, gentle, and courteous man called Androcles. But he had a very cruel master. This is a story of a very kind, very good, and very courteous person. And his name was Androcles. But unfortunately, his master was cruel. His master was not good. त्याचा मालक मात्र फार क्रूर होता. In those days, kings, nobles, and other wealthy men used poor people as their slaves. We know in the past time, all the kings and the noble person and the rich men or wealthy men, they used poor people as their slaves. जे राजे, श्रीमंत माणसं त्यांच्या पदरी गरीब लोकांना ठेवून घ्यायचे आणि त्यांचा गुलाम म्हणून वापर करायचे. स्लेव्स मीन्स गुलाम. Androcles was a slave. Though he was a man, but he was not a servant, he was a slave. The slaves were forced to work for their masters. They had to do what their masters told them. And Androcles was a slave, and they are doing everything what their master told them. त्यांचे मालक जे सांगत असेल तेच गुलामांना करावं लागायचं. They had no freedom, no rights. As a slave, being a slave, they had no rights, no freedom. Even they were unhappy with their masters, they could not leave him. Though they are not happy with their masters, but they could not go away from them. They could not leave them. They were bounded by laws to obey their masters, however wicked he might be. Though their masters were very wicked, but the slaves could not go away from them, and they were bounded by the laws. त्यांना कायद्याने असं बंधन होतं की मालक जे सांगतील तेच काम करायचं. मालक कितीही त्रास देत असले तरी मालकांपासून दूर जाण्यासाठी त्यांना परवानगी नव्हती. They all were bounded by the laws. Means they have that time there was a law. असा कायदाच होता की कायद्याप्रमाणे त्यांना आपल्या मालकांना सोडून जाता येत नव्हतं. Androcles did not like his heartless, wicked master. And Androcles did not like his master because his master was very cruel. And his master was very wicked. खूप दुष्ट आणि क्रूर होता. His master starved his slaves and often whipped them. त्यांचा मालक starved, उपाशी ठेवायचा, and whipped them. चापकाचे फटकारे मारायचा. Androcles felt that even death was better than serving such a master. He thought that this life is not good and death is better than this serving the wicked master. अशा दुष्ट मालकांची सेवा करण्यापेक्षा मरण आलं तर बरं आहे असं Androclesला वाटायचं. He kept looking out for a good opportunity and he was thinking that I must run away from this master. आणि अशी संधी शोधत होता की या मालकांपासून कुठे पळून जावं. At the first chance he got, he escaped from the clutches of his master. And one day he got opportunity and he ran away from his clutches of the master. Now, although Androcles had thus run away, he was not coward. He was a very brave person. Why did he run away? तो पळून गेल्याचा अर्थ भित्रा होता का? He was not coward. He was a very brave man. But he ran away because his master was cruel. He took shelter in the forest. He was not afraid of the wild beasts that roamed the forest. And he ran away from the master and he has taken a shelter in the forest. त्यांनी फॉरेस्टमध्ये, जंगलामध्ये आश्रय घेतला, तिथं थांबत होता. And he was roaming. He was moving. He was roaming or he was wandering in the forest with the beasts. तो पशूंना पण घाबरत नव्हता. He did not mind that he had no roof over his head. There was no roof. कुठलाही आश्रा नव्हता किंवा कुठलाही छप्पर डोक्यावर नव्हतं. ही वॉज हॅपी दॅट ही वॉज फ्री ॲज बर्ड टू गो wherever he wished. And he was very happy. Why he was very happy? Because he thought that he was a free bird. म्हणजे तो मुक्तपणे त्या जंगलामध्ये फिरू शकत होता, म्हणून त्याला तर आनंद वाटत होता की दो ही हॅड नो रूफ ऑन हिज हेड, दो ही हॅड नो एनी हाऊस इन द फॉरेस्ट, बट ही वॉज व्हेरी हॅपी. वन डे as he was wandering in the forest, he suddenly came face to face with a lion. And one day, when he was wandering in the forest, at that time, he has come to face a lion. आणि समोरासमोर एक सिंह त्याला दिसला. His first reaction was to turn and flee. He thought that, oh, lion was dead. And he thought that he must run away from the forest. And his first reaction was turn and flee. वळावा आणि जोरात पळून जावं असं वाटलं. But then he saw that lion had not moved on seeing him. But he thought that lion was not moving. तो सिंह मात्र जागचा हलत नव्हता, हालचाल करत नव्हता, म्हणून तो थोडाच थांबला. It neither growled nor roared. तो गुरगुर करत नव्हता किंवा मोठ्याने डरकाळी फोडत नव्हता. In fact, it looked at him piteously as if it was in great pain. And it looked that lion looked that it was piteously and it was in a great pain. तो अतिशय कुठल्या तरी दुःखात आहे, वेदनेत आहे असं वाटत होतं, आणि म्हणून तो तिथून पळून गेला नाही. And he was sitting there very piteous manner. Androcles paused. Then he moved very cautiously towards the lion, step by step. Androcles stopped there, paused there, and he moved very cautiously to the lion. Lion was there, and he was taking step by step towards the lion. The lion moaned and whimpered. Please help me, its eyes seemed to say. When Androcles came closer to the lion was moaned and whimpered. Means it was looking very painful sound and cried painfully. अतिशय दुःखी आवाजामध्ये त्याचा आवाज निघत होता, जसा कन्याचा आवाज येतो तसा आवाज येत होता, आणि तो कदाचित त्याच्या डोळ्यातून असं दिसत होतं, प्लीज हेल्प मी, मला मदत कर, असे त्याचे डोळे सांगत होते. When Androcles drew near, the lion lowered its head and began to lick its paw. When Androcles went there, close there, the lion lowered its head. त्यांनी आपलं डोकं खाली केलं and began to lick its paws. त्याचा स्वतःचा पायाचा पंजा त्याच्याकडे त्यांनी खाली मान घातली आणि त्याला तो चाटायला लागला. Then Androcles saw that lion's paw was wounded, sore and swollen. त्याच्या लक्षात आलं की the lion's paw was something wounded. त्याच्या पायाला काहीतरी जखम झालेली आहे, तो पाय सुजलेला आहे. On the closer look, Androcles noticed that the big thorn had pierced the lion's toes. And when he looked carefully, he noticed that the big thorn had pierced on one lion's toe. त्याच्या एका पायामध्ये, पंजामध्ये एक मोठा काटा घुसला होता. So this is the cause of the lion's distress, thought Androcles. And Androcles thought that, oh, this is the distress. म्हणून तर ही त्याची अडचण आहे, म्हणून तर हा ग्रेट ट्रबल मध्ये आहे. And he thought that. Summoning up all the courage, Androcles stretched his hand slowly towards the injured paw. Though Androcles was brave, but he was thinking that the lion may attack him. So he summoned up his courage. त्यांनी आपलं धैर्य एकवटलं and Androcles stretched his hand slowly towards injured paw. त्याच्या जखम असलेल्या पायाकडे आपला हात हळूहळू स्ट्रेच्ड केला. He was afraid that lion would attack him if he touched its swollen paw. And he was afraid. He was frightened. तो घाबरत होता. त्याला असं वाटत होतं की जर आपला हात त्या जखम असलेल्या सुजलेल्या पायाला टच झाला आणि त्याला त्रास झाला, द लॉयन मे अटॅक मी, वुड अटॅक हिम. बट द लॉयन सीम to understand his good intention. But the lion did not attack on Androcles. Why? Because the lion understood, lion felt the good intention of the Androcles. Androcles took the paw in his left hand, and he has taken his paw in the left hand. त्याच्या डाव्या हातात त्याने त्याचा पंजा घेतला. Deftly he pulled out the thorn. Deftly, very skillfully and quickly. तो काटा अतिशय कौशल्यपूर्ण पण पटकन असा उपसून काढला. Then tearing a piece of his own clothing, the kind man bound up lion's injured paw, and he has teared out his own cloth. त्याने आपल्या अंगावरचा कपडा फाडला आणि कपडा फाडून जिथं ती जखम झाली होती, जिथून रक्त निघत होतं, त्याला तो कपडा गुंडाळला. Then tearing piece of his own clothing, the kind man bounded up the lion's injured paw. जखम झालेल्या पायाला बांधला. To his surprise and wonder, the lion then licked his arm as if to show gratitude. And surprise and wonder, आणि आश्चर्य की एवढा फ्युरिशियस असलेला लॉयन तो खाली वाकून अँड्रोक्लेसच्या हाताला तो चाटतोय आणि तो असं दर्शवतोय किंवा त्याच्याबद्दलच एक आभार व्यक्त करतोय किंवा ग्रॅटिट्यूड व्यक्त करतोय. Androcles remained with the lion till it could walk again. That time the lion did not move, did not walk, because its paw was wounded. आणि म्हणून त्याच्या पायाला जखम आहे, जोपर्यंत चालता येत नाही तोपर्यंत तिथून हलला नाही. He would hunt in the forest and share his food with the helpless beast. Every day Androcles was going to forest, he was hunting something, and he came with the hunt and he has given the food to the lion also. The lion was helpless beast. Every day he would clean and dress the lion's wound. आणि जखम स्वच्छ केली जायची आणि त्याला ड्रेसिंग केली जायची, कपडा गुंडाळला जायचा. Soon the lion was able to move about. Many times it followed Androcles wherever he went, and they became a good friends. And whenever the Androcles goes, the lion follows him. In the meanwhile, Androcles' master had complained to the authorities that his slave Androcles had run away. And meanwhile, his master realized or found that Androcles was not in the kingdom. तो कुठेतरी पळून गेला असं लक्षात आलं. कंप्लेंट केली आणि त्यांनी त्याच्या अथॉरिटीजला असं सांगितलं, लोकांना सांगितलं की त्याला पकडून आणा. Soldiers were sent in all directions to capture Androcles. They searched for him high and low but couldn't find him. And all the soldiers went in all directions high and low, but they couldn't find the Androcles. At last they came to the forest where Androcles lived. And at last the soldier came in the forest and they approached the Androcles and the lion. It is so happened that Androcles had gone out alone that day while the lion rested near cave. And that day the lion was rested in the cave. तो गुहेमध्ये सिंह थांबला होता. And the Androcles had gone alone in the forest. Both of them fell into the hands of the soldiers. And soldiers had caught them. सैनिकांनी दोघांना पकडलं. The soldiers took them back to the city. They put Androcles in the chain in the prison, and the lion was caged. And they brought both of them before the king. And king ordered to put Androcles in the prison and to keep lion in the cage. आपल्याला माहित आहे की माणसाला बंधनात जेव्हा ठेवतो आपण ते प्रिझनमध्ये ठेवतो आणि प्राण्यांना केजमध्ये ठेवतो आपण. म्हणजे केज आणि प्रिझन हे दोन शब्द दोघांसाठी वापरले जातात. In those days, people who were found to be guilty of serious crime were fed to wild beasts as a punishment. And that time, the custom was that. अशी परंपरा होती की एखाद्याने जर क्राईम केला असेल, someone has done any crime or guilty, एखादा दोषी आढळला असेल किंवा एखादा गुन्हा केला असेल तर अशा लोकांना पशूंच्या तोंडी दिलं जायचं, वाईल्ड बीस्ट, जंगली पशूंच्या समोर, ॲज अ पनिशमेंट म्हणून. रनिंग अवे फ्रॉम वन्स मास्टर वॉज अ व्हेरी सिरियस क्राईम ॲट दॅट टाइम. अँड रनिंग अवे फ्रॉम द मास्टर, दो मास्टर वॉज अ क्रूएल, जरी क्रूर मालक असला तर याच्यापासून पळून जाणं त्या काळामध्ये एक फार मोठी शिक्षा म्हणजे गुन्हा समजला जायचा किंवा फार मोठा एक अपराध समजला जायचा. देअरफॉर अँड्रोक्लस टू वॉज टू बी थ्रोन टू द वाईल्ड बीस्ट. आणि आता अँड्रोक्लसला शिक्षा कुठली दिली जाणार होती? ही हॅज थ्रोन टू बी द वाईल्ड बीस्ट. ऑन द अपॉइंटेड डे द एम्परर अराइव्ड ॲट द सर्कस अँड टूक हिज प्लेस. आणि ज्या दिवशी ही शिक्षा द्यायची त्या दिवशी एम्परर आला, सम्राट आला त्यांचा, अँड ही सॅट ऑन द थ्रोन. द क्राऊड चिअर्ड लाऊडली. आणि लोकांना दौंडी दिली जायची, सांगितलं जायचं की या दिवशी शिक्षा होणार आहे. अँड ऑल द पीपल केम टू लुक द इन्सिडेंट. द trumpeters blew the trumpet and Androcles brought into the arena. आणि तुताऱ्या फुंकणाऱ्या लोकांनी तुताऱ्या फुंकायला सुरुवात केली, नगारे वाजवायला सुरुवात केली आणि अँड्रोक्लसला समोर त्या सर्कलमध्ये आणलं, रिंगणामध्ये आणलं. ही चेन्स वेर अनबाउंडेड. तोपर्यंत त्याला चेन्समध्ये बाउंड केलं होतं. नाव ही इज अ फ्री, अनबाउंडेड. ही फेल्ट वीक अँड डिस्मेड, बट नाव वॉज लुकिंग व्हेरी वीक and dismayed, very sad. He was certain that this was the last day of his life, because he thought that this was the last day. त्याच्या लक्षात आलं की आज आपल्या आयुष्याचा शेवटचा दिवस आहे. At the opposite end, the gate was raised and ferocious lion was released into the arena. समोरच्या बाजूला त्या केज, पिंजऱ्याचं दरवाजा ओपन केला आणि त्यातून अतिशय फेरोसियस असलेला, डेंजरस, हिंस्त्र असलेला हा सिंह बाहेर सोडला. इट हॅड बीन केप्ट हंग्री टू मेक इट मोर फेरोसियस. त्या काळात असं केलं जायचं की त्या प्राण्यांना अति राग यावा म्हणून खूप दिवस उपाशी ठेवलं जायचं, आणि उपाशी असल्यामुळे ते कुठल्याही समोरच्या माणसावर अटॅक करायचे. अँड्रोक्लस वॉज फिल्ड विथ फिअर बट ही पुट अप अ ब्रेव फ्रंट. तो खूप घाबरला होता पण घाबरला नाही असं त्याने दाखवलं. The lion saw Androcles and rushed towards him, bounding and roaring. तो जेव्हा त्या केजमधून बाहेर पडला लॉयन, he was rushed towards, came fast and bounding and roaring. आणि तो मोठ्याने डरकाळ्या फोडायला लागला. But suddenly it stopped in its track. पण जोरात पळत असताना तो ट्रॅकवरच थांबला. Then it moved slowly forward and then moved slowly, थोडा सावकाश पुढे आला. All its rage seemed to have melted. His anger melted. आणि काही क्षणामध्ये त्याचा राग, त्याचा अनकंट्रोल अँगर जो आहे तो मेल्ट झाला, वितळलाय, निघून गेला असं वाटायला लागलं. अँड्रोक्लस सॉ दिस टू. ईच फ्रेंड रिकग्नाइज्ड ईच अदर. आणि ह्या दोघांनी एकमेकांना ओळखलं, अँड्रोक्लस अँड द लॉयन. To everyone's amazement, the lion bounded towards Androcles again, but when it reached him, it began to purr and rub its nose against him. दोघांनी ओळखलं पण लोकांना आश्चर्य वाटलं की इतका जोरात आलेला सिंह थांबलाय कसा. त्यांनी परत अँड्रोक्लसच्या जवळ येऊन त्याच्या बाजूनी तो थांबला and began to purr and rub its nose against him. आणि त्याच्या चेहऱ्याचा, त्याचा जो नाक आहे तो त्याला असा घासायला लागला. Androcles hugged the lion and Androcles hugged. त्यांनी मिठी मारले लॉयनला. He wept with relief and joy and Androcles cried, wept because he found his friend and he saved his life. म्हणून त्याला आपण सुटलो आणि आनंद झाला म्हणून तो रडायला लागला. The audience, including the emperor, watched this tender sight in the great wonder. Everyone was in surprise. Even the emperor was in a great wonder. त्याला पण आश्चर्य वाटलं की काय घडतंय म्हणून. People began to cheer Androcles and asked for his release. And people are making noise, cheered. Why? Because they are asking to the king, emperor, to release the Androcles. Androclesला सोडून द्या अशा प्रकारची लोक घोषणा द्यायला लागले, ओरडायला लागले. The emperor asked Androcles to explain the lion's strange behavior. And the emperor called Androcles and asked, what is the secret behind the strange behavior of the lion? या सिंहाचं असं वर्तन, विचित्र वर्तन कशामुळे घडलंय याचं रहस्य तू सांग आम्हाला, असं विचारलं. When he heard the whole story, the emperor was also moved by gratitude and friendship between man and the beast. And the Androcles told the whole story. All people listened the whole story, and the emperor too listened it, and emperor moved by gratitude. आणि एम्पररच्या लक्षात आलं की अरे, माणूस आणि पशु या दोघांमधली मैत्री ही किती घन असू शकते, आणि ती मैत्री कधीही विसरत नाहीत, एकमेकांना ते कधीच परक मानत नाहीत. अशा पद्धतीची समज, अशा पद्धतीची भावना किंगची निर्माण झाली. ही ऑर्डर दॅट Androcles should be set free. He would no longer be a slave. आणि सम्राटाने सांगितलं की फ्रॉम दिस मोमेंट Androcles would be free and he will be not slave. इथून पुढे तो गुलाम असणार नाही, त्याला मुक्त करा. When emperor asked Androcles what others reward he would like, सम्राटनी परत त्याला विचारलं की तुझी अशी काही इच्छा आहे का, तुला एखादं बक्षीस पाहिजे असेल तर मी तुला बक्षीस द्यायला तयार आहे, सांग. Androcles replied that he did not want anything for himself, but he wanted the lion to be set free too. And he asked, he told, "O Lord, O Emperor, please do not give anything for me. Please give something for my friend." मला द्यायचंच असेल तर एक गोष्ट करा, माझ्यासोबत माझ्या मित्राला, लॉयनला माझ्यासोबत फ्री करा. The two friends went back to the forest to live a free life. And in this way, the two friends, Androcles, a human being, and a lion, a beast, a wild animal, they set free from the cage and prison, and they came to forest and they were living happily. This is the end of the story. Thank you.